Hey, I'm just making sure I am recording. How's everyone doing? I hope you're good. Welcome to my channel. My name is Kaylin. I'm an artsy fartsy weirdo and I create arts and craft tutorials and videos. And I feel like I owe my subscribers an apology and the people who actually watch my content because I have been so inconsistent on my YouTube channel. That was not my goal when I started YouTube. But I've had a really difficult time deciding on which direction I want my content to go and which direction I want my business to go. Now, I've sat down and asked myself these really difficult questions, and I think that business might not be for me. And that's just because I don't have time. In real life I'm actually working. I've got a job which I'm dedicating a lot of time to, so I don't have the time to put 100% into my business. Now, don't get me wrong, I love selling my arts and crafty things, but yeah, I just haven't had the time. Is it for me? I don't know. I mean, when I was running my business full time, I did have my doubts. I was like, this is hard work and it takes a lot of discipline. By the way, I got some new glasses. What do you think? I'm really sorry about that. I had to push my glasses up there for a second. So I have made a decision and I'm planning to release weekly content onto my channel. If I'm not releasing content, I'm working because this is real life. So I hope that you get inspired from my channel. I hope that you learn something. And I just want to take you along my arts and crafts journey. And I want to show you the techniques that I use. So I'm not going to make this intro super long. Let's just get into the video. Today I'm going to be making some acrylic keyrings. This is the way that I do them. This is my technique. I'm not the first one to make these types of keyrings. There are a lot of people doing it, but I just wanted to show you my technique. But I hope that you guys enjoy the video. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so I'm over in Silhouette Studio. I do apologize if there's any reflection in my glasses. At the moment, I can't get rid of that, so I do apologize for that. So I'm over in Silhouette Studio. I've got a template set up, as you can see. This is my template. Yours will differ depending on your design, or sorry, your acrylic cutout. So some people have rectangles where they're just sharp corners. If that's the case, that's the kind of template you'll make. I have created a rectangle with a corner radius. So that's the template that I have set up. If you have a disc or like a round sphere keyring, then you'll obviously make a template to suit that. So your template will differ depending on your acrylic cutout. So I've already got mine here and I'm just going to do the designs for my keyrings. So I'm going to grab my text tool and I'm going to type in my name. And then for the logos, if you're making a number plate keyring or a business keyring that has a logo on it, you typically want to leave space for wherever you're going to be putting the logo. So I typically leave about 8 spaces. I find that that is ample space for me to stick the logo on. So I'm going to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I'm going to type GP because I am from Gauteng. And then I'm just going to move this over. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. So this is where the template comes in. It's great to kind of see where you can put the text and everything and how big or how small you can make it. So I'm just going to fit this into my template. And I'm going to change my font because I want it to resemble a number plate. So for number plate keyrings, I use a font called Cargo. And I typically leave my caps lock on when I'm doing this because when you're using this font, I'll actually show you in a minute. When you're using this font, if you don't have it on caps lock, it just creates these like weird lines on top. So let me quickly pull up that font and then I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, you know what? Just going to type in your cargo. There we go. Okay, so that is quite similar to a number plate. So let me just quickly type this without my caps lock on, and then you'll see what I mean. So if I do this, it kind of creates those like weird lines over there. So if you're going to be using this font or, a number plate font, The way to fix that is just to leave your caps lock on. Okay, so I'm going to fit my name into the keyring. Make it nice and snug. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm going to flip everything horizontally. The reason why I do this is because I want my text and my vinyl to be at the back of my keyring. If you don't want this, then you don't have to flip it. But I would suggest doing that, especially if you're going to be putting a backing on. You kind of want it to be at the back of the keyring. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it onto a new canvas. Let me just change my my media size. Right, and then I'm just going to paste that there. And then I typically do this, I do every single name, and then I'll put everything onto the cutting mat, and I'll cut it out from whatever vinyl that I'm going to be using. In the case of a Gauteng keyring, I normally use like I think it's an ultramarine vinyl. It's an ultramarine blue. And then I'll cut all the GPs on that. And if I'm making a KwaZulu-Natal keyring, it will obviously be green, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and design all the other keyrings, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut that out on my Cameo. Okay, so for the Limpopo keyring, it's obviously going to be cut out in black vinyl. So I'm going to put this over to the side. And then when I load the black vinyl, then I'll obviously load the design onto my cutting mat. In this case, I'm kind of making different keyrings just so that to give you an idea of how I do this. So, you know, if you're making a whole bunch of GP keyrings, then you wouldn't need to swap out vinyl. But in this case, I'm going to be swapping out vinyl because I'm doing 3 different number plate keyrings. So for the KZN keyring, I do have a different template for this. And I am using is it Graphitech vinyl? Graphitech? Whoa. Sorry, my hamster's drinking water. Well, it's my daughter's hamster, but you know, whatever. It's my hamster. Okay, so I've created a template for the KwaZulu-Natal keyring, and I do this one differently because I really want it to resemble the number plate as close as possible. So I've already created a template for this. My border is a little bit thinner, and I've put the KwaZulu-Natal at the bottom. So I really wanted to look as similar to the number plate as possible. It did take me, this was quite a mission to do. I had to really play around with it. So you can get creative and, you know, do your own designs if you want to, but I just kind of wanted to show you this because I thought it looked cool. Okay, now that I'm done with the number plate keyrings, I'm going to move on to just the sort of what I call normal keyrings. I do have a template for that as well because I don't use the same template. So I'm just going to go into my silhouette file and quickly grab that. Okay, so now I got what I call my normal keyrings template open. So I'm just going to move that over to the side. So this is just a rectangle with a corner radius. That's it. This will again differ depending on your design. So I'm just going to, or the design of your acrylic cutout. So I'm just going to type in a name. I'll do my sister. Well, I won't do my sister. That sounds so weird. I will type my sister's name. And then I like to use a font called Baby Giovanni. I bought this off of, I think it was the design store. I'm pretty sure I got it from there. So I bought this font. If you're going to be selling things, make sure that you have the commercial license to sell it, because you can get into serious trouble. Okay, so I'm just going to type out her name. And I'm going to fit it into my template. And then I think we'll be good to go. And then obviously, you know, if you have script font, you want to make sure, you want to make sure that you weld it so that the machine is not cutting into each letter. So I've welded that. I'm going to flip that around because I want it at the back of my keyring. Just going to copy it and I'm going to paste it onto my canvas. And then I'm going to do one more name. I think I'll do my name again because I actually need some new keyrings for my keys. So I'm going to type my name out. And then I'm just going to fit it into the template. And I mean, you can be really creative with this. You could put like a little heart next to it, or you know what? I'm actually going to do that. I think I'm going to put like a little, I don't know, a little heart maybe. I'm not really into hearts and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I should just change that to a controller because I love gaming. So, but I'm kind of just giving you an idea of what you can do. So I'm going to pull over this little design here, this little heart that I have. I'm not selling these, by the way, so it's just kind of for personal use. So I'm going to do that. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. And I think I'm going to turn it a little bit. I think that'll look interesting. And then I'm going to weld this together. So you can get really creative with this. I'm just kind of, you know, showing you an example of some of the things that I've done. Okay, so I've got my templates. I've got my designs ready to go. We can now go and cut it out on the Cameo and we can start assembling the keyrings. Okay, so now that my designs are cut out, I'm just going to go ahead and weed them. I've also already cut out the backings for the keyrings. So I have cut out some reflective vinyl and I've also cut out some colored vinyl. And this is just to put at the back of the keyrings, just to give it some color. Reflective vinyl is quite similar to a number plate, so I was kind of going for that look. Okay, so for the acrylic blanks, I get mine custom cut from Magpies. I will link their page in the description, their Facebook page. Thanks to Colin and Laura, they have absolutely awesome service. If you're in the Boksburg area and you need some acrylic blanks, I definitely recommend them. So I have these custom made, and then I'm just going to go ahead and remove the protective sheeting. So it's like a little plastic sheeting that's on the acrylic. You want to be careful when you're doing this so that you don't scratch the acrylic. I've done this with many keyrings, so just be gentle when you're doing this step. So I had to run and go get my application tape. I was clearly not prepared well enough for this video, but that's okay. So I typically like to reuse my application tape. I literally just cut one piece from my application tape and just reused it on all of these keyrings. So that's something you can do, and it also saves you money in the long run. went to go get what I call my roly tool. I don't know the proper name for this. Please let me know in the comments if you know, but I don't know the proper name for this. I got it at P&A, and I use this tool to apply pressure just so that the vinyl sticks to the acrylic. So there's other ways that you can do this. You can even just use a card or your fingers, but I like this little tool and it gets the job done. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is put on the backing of this keyring, and to do that I just expose a little bit of vinyl from the backing just so that I can place the keyring onto the vinyl. And then with my little roly tool, I just sort of push the vinyl on there and remove the backing as I'm going. So you'll see me do this now. It's a bit hard to explain, but I think you get the picture. So using a box cutter or a standing knife, I'm going to just cut off the excess vinyl, and this is the reason why I'm doing this on my cutting mat, so that I can get rid of excess vinyl and just clean up the sides. So I forgot to mention that to do the logos, I have them printed at my local print shop on clear sticker paper or clear sticker vinyl. If you have a printer at home, this is great because then you're sort of cutting out the middleman. But I don't have a printer, so I just get these printed at my local print shop. You want to make sure if you're making things like this and you're putting it at the back of the keyring, you want to make sure that your sticker is mirrored so that when you go to stick it down onto the acrylic or onto the backing paper of the vinyl, that when you turn it around, it's the correct way. So really important note to take there if you're doing something like this whether it be a business keyring or a number plate keyring, just make sure that you mirror the design before you go to print it. Okay, so now it's time to add the hardware. So I normally poke a hole where the split ring needs to go. I normally use a kebab stick for this, but I don't know where it went. You can use a toothpick or a tailor's awl. I think this is what this tool is called. And then I just kind of pry the split ring open with my fingers and then just put the hardware on, and then our key rings are done. And that is how I make earrings. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, you're freaking awesome and amazing. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm so excited for it. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye. I didn't want to say that, but whatever.